Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and I am so happy to be here. I'm happy that y'all are here, but I am so happy that we are back with the budgeting videos. You heard. So, without further ado, we're not going to take a long time, are we? We're not going to take a long time to do this intro. Let's just go ahead and jump on into it.
Hi.
All right, y'all, so we are going to start with the budget as we always do. Now, this is my first full paycheck as a middle school teacher. Y'all know that I stopped teaching for about 10 months to stay home. No, not 10 months, probably like 9 months to stay home with my son. Found a great babysitter. Now I am back at work as a middle school teacher. So this is my first full paycheck with 80 hours or so. So as we always do, we're going to start with the budget. We're going to break it down and then we're going to move on into the cash stuffing. Now, I just want to preface that, yes, I am back working as a teacher, but I am working at a different school district now since we did move in with my grandparents. And unfortunately, this school district does pay $5,000 less than I was getting paid the last 2 school years. My first 2 school years, I was making about $52,000 a year. Now I'm making $47,500. Fortunately, I do have the opportunity to turn in proof that I am an experienced teacher to the current school district that I'm in so that I can get paid more. So I'm in the process of doing that. Not sure how much more, but more is more, okay? It's more. So I just wanted to make sure you all know that I am not ecstatic about how much I get paid, but I am grateful that I'm getting paid, okay? Because it is $47,500 more than I did have. So we are grateful. So let's go ahead and break down this paycheck. I just want to let you know that everything that you do see in my videos are sold out. I don't have any current physical products on Taylor Budgets, but I am working on new wallets and binders. I actually did receive my samples from China on the new products that I'm working with. So I will definitely show you all what those products look like in I think the next video, because I do want to do pre-orders for those. So if you are interested in the pre-orders, if you could please leave like a thumbs up emoji in the comments below so that I know that pre-orders are something that you guys are okay with, that would help me a lot. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get on into this paycheck, y'all. So for my first full teaching paycheck, I received $1,617. Now, another thing I want to mention about the new school district I'm working at is that it is mandatory that you get paid 12 months out of the year. At the old school district, we had a choice, 10 months or 12. And I always chose 10 months. So my paychecks were around almost $2,000 every 2 weeks. Now it's looking like this, but that is over the course of an entire year. Now, this does not include the benefits that are going to start coming out in January, which are about $250 every month. So that's like $125 every paycheck. So I would say $125 less than this is what I am looking at from January moving on. So for the next source of income, that's from Lauren's dad, and it's $287, and the money I'm receiving from Judah's dad is $250. So his dad pays me $250 every 2 weeks, and then Lauren's dad pays me $287 a month. So let's go ahead and add this up. That's $2,154. $2,154. Now, of course, y'all are gonna hear my kids in the back. They're both in my room while I'm filming. So, yeah. Lauren's like being babysitter for a second. So just to let y'all know, I was past due on a good amount of these bills. And that was because I only had enough money to pay for the bills that were very, very important. Now, the bills that I am past due on or were past due on were bills that I know would be okay. You know, they're not going to affect my credit. Another thing is that I did not have to pay for my car in the month of November because I called them up and asked if I can do a deferment for the next month or skip a payment. And because I've never skipped a payment before, because I've never been late on my car payment, I was able to do that. The only downside is that it will gain a little bit more interest. So my next payment in December is going to be a little bit more going to interest than usual. But just for the sake of not having to crash out and have my first full paycheck just be gone in a matter of seconds, I knew that I needed to skip a car payment. So hopefully I will never have to do that again, but I just wanted to let y'all know that as well. So for tithes, this is tithes from this paycheck and also tithes from my last paycheck. My last paycheck only paid me for, I think it was 37 hours, so just 1 week, and it was around $1,807. Now, when I received that paycheck 2 weeks ago, my checking account was negative like $400. Yes, it's been really bad over here. So a lot of that paycheck went to that, and then I just, kind of just tried to keep us afloat for 2 weeks with the difference. So that paycheck, I really didn't budget that because I just needed to make sure that we weren't in like survival mode, but it was just like, there's really no way I can budget this to pay my bills because everything's just crazy right now. So that is why I'm saying that this is the first full paycheck, because it's for 2 weeks instead of 1. Now, because I didn't pay my tithes with my first paycheck, which was 2 weeks ago, I'm going to pay them with this paycheck. So that totaled up to be $108 from the last paycheck. And then this one was $162. So that's a total of $270. Then I had to pay for Lauren's hair to get done. A neighbor of mine did Lauren's hair, and she said, hey, just pay me whenever you can. So I paid her with this paycheck, but Lauren got her hair done 2 weeks ago. And so I paid her $75. My phone payment, I didn't pay it for the month of October or November. So I had to give my mom 2 months worth of phone payments, and that's $200. So that was one of the bills that was past due. Overdraft, I had an overdraft again on my account when this paycheck came. It's been real rough over here, y'all. And that overdraft was $240. Then I was late on my storage payments, and because I was late, I had a $15 late fee. So it ended up being $116 instead of $99. And then I had to purchase lunches at Lauren's school and also pay for her Zumba club, and that came out to $83. Babysitter for Judah was $340 for this 2 weeks. Usually I would pay the babysitter $400 every 2 weeks, but it was $340 because last week I was off for 2 days straight. And you probably saw it in a recent blog that I posted. So I was off for Veterans Day, and then I was off the day after. Life insurance, I did get a new life insurance, y'all. So I am no longer with the life insurance that I've had the last 6 years, which was $51 a month. My new life insurance is $31 a month, and it is just a lot better. It's What I didn't know is that the life insurance that I've been paying for the last 6 years was whole life, and Dave Ramsey recommends term life. So I was able to go through Xander Insurance, which is Dave Ramsey's company, I guess, and find really, really good life insurance. I think I did $500,000 for 20 years, and that's $20 a month for me for 20 years. And then I added $10,000 for each child. So that's what got it to the 30, but then plus tax and everything, it's 31. So $31 a month that I am paying, and this is probably like my second month paying it. Highly recommend Xander Insurance. The process took about 15 minutes. I just had to talk to them over the phone, and I didn't have to get a medical check. So that was awesome. Google storage is $3. Yeah, $3. Now, this is a new bill that I have, and it's necessary because I have so much photos and videos on my phone that I did not want to let go of. And I found that Google Photos has a cloud. And so I downloaded the app on my phone, and I transferred all of my photos and videos from my phone to that app, and it stores it for me. And then I was able to take all the photos and videos that were on my phone storage, delete them, and that opened up, I think, 118 gigabytes of storage, y'all. 118 gigabytes of storage taken up from photos and videos. And of course, that's mostly Lauren when she was younger, and now Judah. Like, I took a lot of photos and videos of Lauren when she was younger. So I'm happy that I found something that's affordable that I can still have on my phone. And now I could film and edit a lot easier. So that's a headache I no longer have. So next is Peacock. I'm definitely gonna be paying for Peacock because, especially with the holidays, they have Hallmark, the Hallmark channel on Peacock. And y'all know, if you don't know, now you know that your girl loves Hallmark movies on Christmas time. During Christmas time, that's all I watch is Hallmark. So I am so excited, especially now that Thanksgiving is coming up this week. That's when they start with the Hallmark movies. Y'all, I love them. So that is going to be $26, and that's for the month of October and November because I was past due on that bill. SeaWorld is $42 for the month of October and November because I was past due on that bill as well. So that's usually $21 a month, and that's usually $13 a month. Shopify, I had to pay $53 for. And that's, of course, the monthly subscription as well as any apps that I have on my Shopify store. So that was $53. And then lastly is my Google business email that I pay for, which is now support@tailorbudgets.com. I wanted a business email because I just wanted, for it to be a little bit more professional, especially now that I'm starting back with physical products. And that's $10 a month. 10. So those are all the bills I've had to pay for, current and past due. So let's go ahead and add those up. Is it okay? Okay, so we have a total of $1,489. I didn't even bother putting the dates on here. I apologize if that bothers anyone. But for two reasons, I'm on a time crunch, and a good amount of these are past due. So I was just like, whatever. This is a get caught up and get current type of paycheck. So let's move on to my daily spending with $14.89 left. Oh, let's go ahead and do the remaining. So how you get the remaining is you take your total income and you subtract your total bills. So we have $2,154 minus $14.89. $665 left. with $665 left, let's move on to daily spending. Now for groceries, I'm budgeting $0 because I do still have food assistance, thank God, because I do not understand how I would do this budget without food assistance. Now, I did have to, of course, let the state of Florida know that I now have a paycheck. So going forward, when they do, hopefully not cut me off, but if they do, which they probably will most likely because I do have a job now. I don't know what I was trying to say, but I know that they probably will cut me off. So while I still have it, I am thankful because it has come in handy for like the last 6 months for me and the kids. I'm receiving $785. I'm receiving $785 a month in food assistance, and when I tell you that we always use that money, not a dollar rolls over to the next month. Like, we truly use all of that, and I am so grateful to have it, especially during this time when I was unemployed. I still have it, and they did say I'm going to have it for December. Going into the new year, not sure. So grocery budget is $0. Home stuff, which is like toiletries, paper products like toilet tissue or like cleaning products, I'm budgeting $50. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I had to put them in the living room. I had to set up Judah with his show, his snacks, his water. And oh my gosh, I don't know how this audio is gonna come out. I can't film this over again. So hopefully they weren't too loud, but going forward, it should be a lot quieter. Sorry, not sorry, like they're my kids, of course. Like, I'm not gonna just like try to shut them up because I want to film a video, of course, but it's also like when you do want to watch a YouTube video, you want it to be peaceful, or at least you can hear. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so eating out, I didn't do a eating out budget for like food, only for Starbucks, and that's $25 that I'm sticking to. Gas is $100. Spending is $100 because we do have a few things we have to do this month and a few things that we have to buy this month. Like, I wanted to buy an outfit for Lauren and Judah for Thanksgiving because I wanted to take Thanksgiving pictures. We have a birthday party we have to go to. Something else I forgot, but you just need spending money. So we have spending, gas, eating out, home stuff, and then groceries is of course $0 because we still have food assistance. So let's go ahead and add those up. 50 plus 25 plus 100 plus 100. So that is $275. Am I missing something? Home stuff is 50. 25 for eating out. Gas spending. No, we're good. So $275. So now we're going to take what we had remaining and subtract $275. We had $665 remaining minus $275. $390. Okay, so now we're going to move on into my debt payments that I am making right now. So not sure if you all know, but I am in debt, okay? I'll leave my debt confession video or the recent one, my debt update video, down below in the description box. But I am in a good amount of debt, credit cards, medical, legal. It's a hot mess going on over here. But the good part about it is that it just makes for a testimony of when I do pay all this off. And I know how to pay off debt. I know how to budget. That's one thing I do know. So I just have to be disciplined, right? And consistent. So we are on a debt payoff journey. If you don't know, 2 years ago, I was pretty much debt free other than my car and student loans. And now I'm back in debt because of just certain circumstances. So we're on a debt payoff journey. So with that being said, I haven't been making any payments on any of my debts for the last year almost, because I've been unemployed, and when it was me and my husband, we just didn't make enough money to contribute to all of my debts. It was tough. So now that I am just one income now, what my plan is to basically do a debt snowball. The two debts that I'm working on right now are Affirm, and then I have one debt that was almost to like a whole wage garnish status. So I spoke to them and I set up a payment plan with them, and that is MCM. And that was for one of my credit cards, which has a balance of like $2,900. I do want to call them and see if I can decrease it and probably settle. But I know that usually if you settle, you have to have like a lump sum payment, which I don't have. So right now, after this payment this month, it's going to be $100 a month. Affirm is almost paid off, and Klarna is going to be paid off with this paycheck here. So let's go ahead and do MCM for $10. $10 this month. So when I called them, we set up a payment plan that was $53 up front. The next month, $10, which is this one. And then the following months until it's paid off, $100. Affirm, I was past due on that because, of course, the last paycheck, it was a doozy. So I owed Affirm, to get current, $121. And then for Klarna, to just fully pay it off, I just got this Klarna balance, I think it was last month. So it only took me a month to pay off, which is fine. It's not fine because I don't think anyone should be using Affirm and Klarna, but it does come in handy if you need it. So I'm not judging anyone who uses it. It's just bad financial practice to use it, because you shouldn't be buying anything that you don't have the money to purchase cash. But anyway, Klarna, I owed $201. Well, let's just do $202 because it's $201.25. And I like to stick with whole numbers. So $202. So like I said, this is now paid off. Affirm, it won't be paid off yet. And then MCM is going to take a while unless, I put a lump sum towards it, which I will talk about in a second. So let's add up these three here. 10 plus 121 plus 202. $333. Okay, so we had $390 remaining. Minus 333, that's 57 remaining. So this 57, which sounds about right, I was going to use for any Christmas gifts I wanted to start paying for. So we're going to put Christmas 57, and it's 57 total, and that means it's 0 remaining for a zero-based budget. So this 57, okay, I planned on getting Lauren a little purse wallet because she wants a wallet, but I also want it to be like in the form of a purse. So my best friend, actually, she was out of town and she went to the Coach outlet, and they had this cute little pink purse. I'll show it up here on the screen. That was like a purse wallet. It was small, it was dainty, it was Lauren. So I asked her how much it cost, and she said $50. So I was like, bet. So I sent her the $50, and that's basically the $50 there. I haven't purchased any other Christmas gifts yet, but that is one of the gifts I'm getting for Lauren. The other one that I'm gonna get her, which my mom actually purchased for me, for Lauren, which I'm grateful for. I got her a gift set of the Sol de Janeiro perfumes. She loves them. She's such a girly girl, y'all. And then I'm going to get her a variety pack of Touchland hand sanitizers. And then she says she wants some new jeans and sweatpants. Like, the girl is such a girly girl. Oh my gosh, I love it. Anyway, so that's my budget. Okay, that is my budget. We have an income total of $2,154, a bill total of $1,489, spending total of $275, debt total of $333, and sinking fund total of $57. So now, of course, you all know, maybe you don't, I do live with family. I live with my grandparents. I don't have to pay any bills living with them. They just want me to get back on my feet. So I do appreciate them for that. But in true Taylor fashion, I have to give them something because I just want them to know that they're appreciated and they're not being taken for granted, which they know, but I just have to. So my grandma and I spoke, and she said going into the next year, we'll talk about it, how much, that would be. I'm thinking $100 a month, or at least to cover one utility bill, whether that's water, electricity, whatever that is. Especially because Judah is just all over the place, and his new thing is he likes to pull the lever on my toilet, and I'm like, that gotta be running up the water bill, right? So we'll talk about that in the new year, and then once we do, of course, I will bring it to y'all. But I just want to let you know that with me not having to pay any big girl bills or any adult bills right now, this paycheck that I'm receiving, it's not bad. I mean, especially since I still have my food assistance. If I no longer have it, a good amount is going to go towards groceries. But my plan is, because I was like mapping it out, my plan is to put $600 to $800 a month towards debt. And right now, that would be this MCM debt. That is the goal, right? The goal is to pay off a firm and then pay this off, and then I'll move on to my next debt, which is probably going to be probably another credit card, honestly, because legal debt, medical debt, none of that is going to collections. So I just need to take care of the ones that could possibly go to collections. So that is all I got so far with the future, right? So anyway, let's move on to the denomination setup. Denomination setup is when I'm taking out cash for any of the categories that I spend cash in, and usually it's my daily spending categories. So that's going to be home stuff, eating out, gas, and spending. Actually, gas, I do just digital because I don't like to take out cash for gas, because that means I have to go in and pay cash for gas, and I don't want to do that, okay? So the only thing that I took cash out for was spending, eating out, and home stuff. So let's go ahead and write that down. Home stuff. I'm gonna have to turn this, y'all, so that my arm's not in the way. Home stuff, eating out, and spending money. Home stuff was 50, eating out was 25, and then spending was 100. For a total of 175. And I think I only took out 140 because, I only took out 140 because at the time when I went to the bank, I had already spent some money for spending digitally, like with my card. So I spent $35 digitally, and I think I spent it on, what did I spend it on? It had to be something for Lauren, because that's usually who I purchase things for. I can't remember, y'all. This is why you gotta write your transactions down. I know I spent $35 doing something. Okay. So when I went to the bank, I only took out $65 for spending. And then I took out the $50 for home stuff, and then I took out the $25 for Starbucks. So that's $140. That's what I took out. Now for the denominations, that's another story, because that was like a week ago when I went to the bank. So we're just going to have to skip this for now, because I don't want to confuse myself or y'all, And we're just going to go ahead and get into the cash stuffing. We'll make it work when we get there. Another thing I wanted to mention about my budget is I do plan on doing sinking funds as well, but I just want to kind of make sure that I'm budgeting smart to where, because I do believe that it's important to still save while you're paying off debt, because you need to have an emergency fund, right? Like, you need to have some type of savings. That's the only reason why I was able to last during unemployment for how long I did, because I had savings. So I do plan on saving still. I just want to make sure I'm putting more towards debt than savings, unfortunately, because my number one priority is paying off debt. But I do know that if I don't have anything saved, then that's just going to put me more in debt. So yeah, hopefully next paycheck we could put something towards savings, because I can't remember the last time I popped open my sinking funds binders, y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and count the money that I do have. I know I have a little bit less than 140 because I did spend some cash. And oh nope, Judah's back in the room with me because he is. So I did spend some cash, but not a lot. So let's go ahead and count. I have 120, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and that feels so good to do. Feels good to be back, y'all. 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. These are brand new. Brand spanking new. 30. And then 2 ones. Dusty, crusty ones. Is it a rumor? Have you guys heard anything about how they stopped making the penny because it now costs too much to make the penny? Have you guys heard anything about that? Let me know. My students were telling me about that. I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, let me bring out my wallet. I'm using the same wallet that I've been using for a while. Haven't changed it yet, but like I mentioned, I do have the new samples on my new wallet, so I can't wait to show you those. I have a few changes I want to make to them, but all in all, they're gonna look exactly like how you will receive them if you want to purchase them. And again, let me know down below with a thumbs up emoji if you are comfortable and you are okay with pre-orders. Okay, so nothing for groceries. Home stuff is getting 50. So let's do 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, and 50. 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50. And I actually have to go to the store right after this. So that's good. Eating out, which is gonna be Starbucks, is gonna get 25. So let's do 10, 15, 20, 25. 10, 15, 20, 25. I've been doing really good with my spending lately, especially knowing that I have a cash budget again. It just motivates me more to stay within that cash amount. And that's like really one of the sole purposes or primary purposes of having a cash budget, right? It's so that you can physically see how much you need to spend. And it's kind of like that extra motivator, or like that kinesthetic motivator to, oof, if I can't see how much money I have, I'm just gonna spend willy-nilly if I'm swiping a card. Or, dang, I have all this money, I kind of don't want to spend it because I could actually physically see how much I have. And if I spend it, then I'm gonna have to swipe my card, which means I'm overspending. So cash is a motivator in itself to not spend as much as you need to. And now the rest is going to go into spending. So that's the rest of this. Hi, Judah Wuda. He is shaking up the camera. Almost done, buddy. Almost done. Give me like 2 more minutes. He wants to see what Mama's doing. Your big sister knows all about Taylor budgets. Now it's your turn, huh? Yeah? Yeah? You want to say hi to the camera? About your little footies. Say hi. Oh, gosh. So spending is getting the rest, which is 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 56, 57. Okay, and that's it. And I have this spending tracker here that is for my gas. So it'll let me know how much I spend in gas to also make sure that I'm staying in budget with that. Staying in budget with gas is not hard because I kind of know where I'm driving every week, how many miles it is, and how much times I fill up gas because I've been doing it enough. So I do $100 for every 2 weeks, and that pretty much works for me because my commute is 50 minutes one way. So that's, you know, it's a 2-hour commute every day. So it does take up a lot of gas, but anytime I spend on my gas, I'll just jot it down on my expense tracker so that I know how much I have left to spend. So that is pretty much it. And this is my bank folder for anything that needs to go back to the bank in cash. So let's say I spend something on my card that I know I have the cash for. I'll just take the cash out of the specific envelope, put it into my bank envelope, and then deposit it back into the bank. And this is where my coins go in here. But anyway, that is pretty much it, y'all. I need to go ahead and get my kids dressed, and we need to go to the store because Lauren has a birthday party tomorrow that I need to purchase a gift for. And yeah, it's also just something to get out of the house and do because Lauren hates staying home, and sometimes it's just easier to take her out of the house and let her walk around and touch grass. Anyway, y'all, can't wait to see y'all in the next video. I have a lot of things planned for the next video, which is kind of showing you the binders and the wallets, as well as you know, cash stuffing, budgeting, all the good things, and also kind of updating you on my plan of attacking my debt. So I hope you all enjoyed the first budgeting video back, and I pray that I am able to do this every 2 weeks because it's honestly what I love to do. It's honestly what I love to do. I love talking about budgeting, but if I can't actually physically budget and cash stuff, I'm just not in the mood to talk about anything budgeting. So I would rather talk about any budgeting topics or answer any of your budgeting questions while I'm budgeting and cash stuffing my own income, because that is just what truly brings me joy. And I'm happy to be back, and I thank God for all of you who have been sticking with me. I know it's been very inconsistent the last few years, but I am praying that I'm able to find some consistency again in my life. So I appreciate you all. God bless, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.